Ooh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 17 of NFL Draft Analysis by Sideline Specialists. We are looking today at Jalen McMillan, a receiver taken in the third round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of Washington, U. 6'1", 198. We are going to go ahead and use the PFF draft guide. I want to do a better job of getting more actual info. Maybe college statistics and their strengths and weaknesses so that it feels more like analysis and less like a reaction. Obviously, I'm still going to blind watch the highlights because if somebody really jumps off the screen on that first look, I think that's special. That's not going to happen with everybody, though, obviously. So let me see if I can scroll this the way I want to. No, I cannot. I'll just delete that. So I'm just going to get this down to here. So player traits, I like this chart that PFF has placed on all these. There's so many players on this. This is a 1,026 slide presentation with a ton of draft prospects. This guy's it's gonna be interesting seeing how he fits with the Bucs, because you obviously you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, and you have Trey Palmer. And I have on another page the depth chart for the Bucs open currently because I was very curious where they have kind of placed him, and they have him as a second string behind Trey Palmer right now. I think that might change. We shall see, but we'll see stats on this next slide after this. But let's go over. So his route running, they gave an 8 out of 10. I would agree with that. One of the knocks you see under weakness here. Change of direction is good, not elite. I think that will play into route running, but 8 out of 10 is still very solid. The vertical ability is the biggest knock. He is not a downfield threat. His top speed is not fast enough to break away from his defender and keep that distance. Obviously, that's a tough thing, but you don't need every receiver to have that, in my opinion. You really don't. So, release, footwork, 8 out of 10, very solid. 8 out of 10 hands, like that. Change of direction, acceleration, 7 out of 10. Change of direction, flexibility, 8 out of 10. So his flexibility being good is great. He can turn his body. So if that matters to me more. I would like to see a guy be able to control his body to position himself to make a catch more than I necessarily would. Like, change of direction's great, but if you can get open, you can get open. Run after the catch and after contact, 7. Play strength and blocking, 7. Competitive toughness, 9. So I like that one. That's a very solid one. Overall, none of these are too glaring outside of the vertical ability. And I think that will show up on tape. And one of the reasons I think that is if we scroll down over here, we will see that this has a slot snaps tracker. And in 2023, only 9 of his snaps were somewhere outside of the slot. Obviously, his snap count got pretty much cut in half from 2022 to 2023. They were a loaded team at receiver. I kind of get that. I want to make sure. Let me see if McMillan. I would like to see something here. Sorry, we're taking a quick pause. 2.5 games, injured knee. Okay. Let's see if would ESPN have this with like a game log, because that would be helpful, because I think he did actually miss time, and that would definitely explain. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that checks out. That checks out. Sorry for me just staring off into the void here. Seeing those stats set alarm bells in my head, and I should have checked this beforehand, but we're just going to roll with it. So it is clear he got injured missed all of October, played very sparingly in November, December, and then in January, I guess in the college football playoff games, he did have 11 catches, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he had a touchdown against Michigan. That's obviously great to see him back in a big crunch time game like that. That changes things though a little bit. Obviously, it's not a crazy severe injury. It happened in September, and he was already back making catches for the team by November. So that's a good sign. I wouldn't put too much worry or thought into that. And if you think about the amount of time he did miss, it is fairly okay, fairly reasonable to assume he would have gone back up to numbers like he did in 2022 there. I like the numbers. It's just he lines up a lot in the slot. And I feel like that's not necessarily the most needed thing for the Bucs, but if that's how they want to use him, and you have Palmer and Godwin and Evans all outside guys, and McMillan primarily lives in the slot, then I mean they can give that a shot. Obviously, I think they have a lot of options now, which that's never a bad thing. Yards per route run, 89 out of 100, very solid. Receiving grade versus zone coverage is what I like a lot. And this is where that slot play could actually come in real handy. That's a very, very, very high grade. Obviously, a 77 on separation percent for single coverage. We've talked about that already. His ability to separate just purely off speed and his ability to change direction makes it a little tough. And then the reception grade versus single coverage is also a little, it's not mediocre. There's plenty worse than this, but that will be something he definitely needs to work on at the NFL level. Let's see. Okay. Hit 5 drops. 10% drop rate is... we'll have to see some other guys, but I feel like that's not ideal. He has routes that are clearly a slant route, excellent crossing route. These are all slot routes that he could feast upon if they do want to use him that way, and I think they will. The Bucs have shown that they're absolutely heading in the right direction. Obviously, a playoff win this past season is an excellent way to change the course of your franchise since Tom Brady retired. So, we are going to head into highlights. We're not going to worry about the combine stuff right now. Let's get this going. This is a deeper route, and he beat that man's. I'm going to assume he lined up inside on that. I didn't see where he got off the line of scrimmage. No, they have him outside on this. That's outside twice. I wish they were circling him just because it's hard to see the numbers on the guys. Yeah, these are 3 outside. So I wonder if these highlights are from, like, what year these would be from. They're 0-2 in that. Yeah, they're 0-2 right now, which is clearly not last year. And that's not Michael Penix, so this is probably 2021 before Penix transferred in. Okay, so we're going to get a full mix, a full blend of stuff here. His first year, he did not line up in the slot primarily. So that's what we're going to see here, is his ability, his outside receiving snaps. That's a route similar to what the sort of route a slot receiver would run. So that's a good sign right there. He made his cut very close to the middle of the field and just went out, which... Seeing Washington bad is just confusing. Jalen McMillan. I like it. There's Michael Penix. There he is. All right.
Maybe there's some symmetry here on the year they're marking the 50th anniversary, their one and only conference title. Deep shot taken by Penix. And Jalen McMillan all the way down to the Kent State 10.
It's good stuff. None of it's like crazy. Let's be clear. Like, I'm not watching this going, oh my god, this is amazing. But it's good stuff. He runs clean routes, which is more, I mean, it's so important. If your routes suck, it doesn't even really matter what other attributes you have, unless you're the fastest dude on earth. But then there were guys like John Ross who were taken in the top 10 with blazing speed, but they had no, Ross had no hands. And his routes were always just whack, so he was never where he was supposed to be, even if he ran fast. What I see from McMillan, he has a solid size. It looks like he can play physical. And he just runs clean routes. Penix is throwing this ball to where he's supposed to be, and he's there. Like, Baker should be happy to have a guy like this as an option on the roster, I think. But again, it's like you're drafting him in the third to a team that already has a clear 1-2 on receiver. He can compete for the third spot and take Trey Palmer's spot. He can compete for that, I think. Whether he wins that spot or not is a whole different story. I like that he took a hit. Used that body flexibility that was noted, spun out of it, found pay dirt. There he is, cut. Bam! Alright, so classic. Alright, so up the left sideline, towards the goalpost, classic post route. Got to a spot. Okay. Got to the middle of the field. Like it said, he's very good against zone coverage. I think that proves that. Absolutely. Okay. Simple little out route. He made his cut in a good spot. Corner had no chance of getting his body or hands in the way of that. Again, another very clean route. I'll just keep saying that. It's just the truth. No wasted movement either. No wasted energy. Expends himself and pushes himself when truly needed. Like, he has some short burst, which is good. He's able to get some speed in a decently quick way. It's just his top speed is questionable. Look how open he is, dude. And again, wide open over the middle of the field. His routes are just better. Well done. Very, very well done. That's against a very early first-round pick right there. So I believe the Patriots? I'm watching this on a tiny screen, so if you see me kind of lean, it's because I want to make sure I actually see everything as well as I should. Okay, some little tomfoolery, some little trickery. Gets the first down, bounces off that guy, cuts inside. His physicality just says, I'm too strong for all of yous. Another touchdown. That was I like that. That was some bad tackling, but there were a couple guys with decent shots, and he did just play physically. That speed looked alright, I'm not going to lie. Not like incredibly blazing, but that guy coming in from the left side had a bit of a shot, and he just put on the. He tried to find that extra gear.
Another big play. Penix looking that way to the slant, and it is caught. A touchdown.
Nice hands.
Got a run on the shoe tops.
Shades of Palomalu's interception. That thing was way down there. He had no business catching that. So we'll just pop over to this now, and we'll just summarize, right? Okay, so 10-inch hands, 32-inch arms, 6'1", almost 200 pounds. NFL.com has him graded as an average backup or special teamer. Right now on the depth chart, he is a backup. I could see that changing. I can. His tape does tell me in the slot, I think he could be a productive guy. I'm not going to say he would ever. I think he'd finish outside of the top 25 in receiving yards every year, even if they started him. I think probably even outside like the top 45, to be honest. But if he could get you like 600 to 700 yards on a year, given the other two receivers that are in Tampa right now, that's a good compliment. And they're going to still use Trey Palmer like 100%. Bucky Irving's going to get catches out of the backfield. Rashad White will get used, I think, more this year now. I'll give this like a B- because I still think it's good value for where they got him. Because I think his level of competitiveness and his drive to win is something you can't underrate or underestimate. You want guys to come in and just literally be hungry, and he clearly is. To get hurt early in a season and come back as fast as he did and want to just contribute and then catch a touchdown in not only the college football playoff game, he caught him one in both, which is excellent. So I think there's potential, but I think this is one of those, like, don't expect the universe from him. Just let him come in, let him work, let him find a home, and let your offensive coordinator put this guy in a situation to succeed. And you'll be chilling. I think you'll be happy with that. But this is a longer episode. This is going to probably be more of the format, and I'll get it refined with each one that I record. Yeah, obviously it'll go more smoothly in the future. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please click the little thumbs up button. If you would like to see more videos in the future, please click subscribe. If you'd like to listen to our podcast in an audio-only format, please visit Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google, searching Sideline Specialists Podcast. And if you'd like to watch it live, put the notification bell on so that if you are subscribed on YouTube, you will see when we go live. Thank you very much. We'll see you again very soon.